enforcement warrant for seizure and sale of property is one of the most serious debt recovery mechanisms available in Queensland, allowing a creditor to enforce a judgment debt against a debtor's real property. Once a creditor obtains an enforceable money order, such as a court judgment or registered QCAT decision, they may apply to the court for an enforcement warrant authorising the seizure and sale of the debtor's real property. This process is governed by the Uniform Civil Procedure Rules and is designed to convert a debtor's assets into funds that can be used to satisfy the outstanding debt. These warrants most commonly relate to real property and motor vehicles, although other non-exempt assets may also be capable of seizure. Before issuing a warrant, the court generally requires evidence that a debtor actually owns the property and there is sufficient equity available after accounting for mortgages, secured interests, or other encumbrances. This means that even if a debtor owns property, it may not be commercially worthwhile to pursue seizure and sale if little or no equity exists. Once issued, the warrant is executed by an enforcement officer or bailiff, who has the powers to take steps necessary to enforce the order. In the case of real property, the warrant may be registered against a title, and the property can ultimately be sold at public auction. For vehicles, searches are usually conducted to confirm ownership and identify any security interests before seizure occurs. Importantly, not all property can be seized. Queensland law recognises certain categories of exempt property, meaning assets necessary for basic living or work may be protected from enforcement action. This creates an additional layer of complexity when assessing what assets are actually available for recovery. If the property does not sell at auction, further applications may sometimes be made to allow the property to be sold at the best price obtainable, rather than strictly through the auction process. This can become highly technical and often requires additional evidence and court involvement. For creditors, warrants for seizure and sale can be a powerful enforcement tool where other recovery attempts have failed. For debtors, however, the consequences can be severe, potentially resulting in the forced sale of valuable assets. Because the process involves strict procedural requirements, evidentiary obligations, and strategic considerations, obtaining legal advice early is critical to understanding the risks, options, and likely outcomes before enforcement action proceeds. Contact us today for a free 30-minute consultation with one of our experienced team of debt recovery professionals and let us help you protect your rights.